And we should be set for a good game.
Absolutely. I mean, a fantastic venue, as you say. The weather's great. You're watching both teams warming up. It looks as if the pitch is going to be top class. Both teams play a lot of rugby. Speaking to the London Scottish guys last night, and their brand is to play rugby similar to Harlequins, which is very similar to us for anybody that saw the game last week. So I expect an exciting game.
I don't think there's such a thing as a friendly in rugby. It's a pre-season fixture, pre-season game. What do Glasgow want to get out of this one?
Well, from a player's point of view, it's just getting out there and playing. It's a long pre-season. Some guys getting their first chance this week. Other guys having an opportunity last week. From a rugby point of view, we want to play well. We want to take some momentum into the start of the season, into the game against Leinster. And you also, individually, you want to have confidence. You want to make sure that by the end of this game, you feel as if you're ready and raring to go.
Okay, just a few minutes to kick off. Looking ahead to later in the season, Scotland's autumn test campaign this year will feature New Zealand, Tonga and Argentina. We've 2 tickets to give away for the match against the Pumas.
Very well, he played against England in the second
All
test
you have
match
to do
out there.
is tell us in which year this try by Gavin Hastings was scored.
Vexel, Arbichu, sliced. Gavin Hastings. That's a monster. And
Wait
it's a
for the
beauty
fancy
to the man,
dive.
just shot.
Here it
Gavin
comes.
Hastings must get the score. Look
In
at
which
the boy.
year was that Gavin Hastings score at Murrayfield against Argentina? You can enter by tweeting us at Scotland Team, hashtag LSVGW. That's at Scotland Team, hashtag LSVGW. And we'll pick a winner at half time. We'll also have a second half competition for some tickets for the Glasgow Leinster match, which is next Saturday. We're just a couple of minutes away from kickoff, as I say, here in Richmond. Your commentary team for the match features Al Kellogg. But first, here's Bill Johnston with today's teams.
Henry Fergus leads out Glasgow onto this lovely surface down here in Richmond. Warm applause from the crowd. The Glasgow lineup has Peter Murchie at 15, Tommy Seymour and Lee Jones on the wings, Mark Bennett and Alex Dunbar at centre. Duncan Weir replaces Peter Horn, the original selection. Horn has a minor niggle and is withdrawn as a precaution. And Henry Fergus, as I've said, is at scrum half. Big Gordon Reid and new face Russo de Klerk prop up Kevin Bryce. Tim Swinson gets a start alongside Leone Nakarawa. The breakaways Chris Fusaro and Tyrone Holmes. The latter winning his first Scottish cap against South Africa in June, as did today's number 8, Adam Ash. London Scottish led out by their captain and hooker, Adam Kwasnicki. Great shout from the public address system announcer and of course from the London Scottish fans who are here in numbers at Richmond. Here's the London Scottish lineup. Peter Lydon is at 15. In the 3 quarters, Miles Mantella and Matt Williams are the wingers. Former Gala stalwart Lee Miller partners PJ Gidlow in the midfield. Scottish under-20 cap Jamie Stevenson partners Dan Newton at half-back. It's a Hallam, Kwasnicki and Maidment front row, a powerful front row. Couple of 19-stone giants lock the scrum. Tai Tuisamoa and Preo Cannon. The familiar figure of Ireland's Neil Best is at 7 alongside James Philip Pate and Freddie Clark at number 6. Here's the first action then from this game. The last pre-season friendly that these two teams will play before they get down to the serious business of Pro 12 rugby and Championship rugby in the case of London Scottish. London Scottish in dark blue off to the left of picture. There's Peter Murchie, number 15 for Glasgow. 3 caps to his credit, of course, the last against South Africa back in June down in Port Elizabeth. And there's this lovely surface here, Alistair, at Richmond, and you couldn't ask for better conditions for a game of rugby.
No, absolutely not, and a good start there, a good chase off the kickoff from Glasgow and forced the 9-inch mistake, putting the ball out in the full.
Here's a run from Nakarawa after Holmes took it in. Look at this big Fijian striding along. Good tackling from London Scottish's defence. Pergus to Dunbar. Pergus again moves it wide. Here's Murchie. Murchie has Jones on the outside. Wanted to keep the ball live and bring it in. Tim Swinson couldn't get hands on that. Fusaro's there. Knock on first of all, Stuart Terhiga of the Rugby Football. Ian Tempest rather is the referee this afternoon. Stuart Terhiga and Nigel Carrick are the assistant refs.
I think we've already seen, as Jim mentioned, in build up there is no such thing as a friendly. Couple of comings together already. A great break there from Peter Murchie. Lee Jones last week was probably the best player on the park, and he'll be looking to get the ball into his hands as early as possible.
And of course Lee Jones has got another contract with Glasgow Al, so he'll be delighted at that. His future is secure for the time being.
Yeah, and he came in last year and did exceptionally well in the games that he's played. He's obviously got a fair amount of sevens experience as well.
Now here's the business end of the game of rugby, isn't it? Right up here in the front row. Gordon Reid on this side for Glasgow against Max Maidment, with that sort of piratical black beard there on this side of the London Scottish front row. Gordon Reid, Kevin Bryce and Rousseau de Klerk in the front three for Glasgow in their blue and white. And in the navy blue, on this side is Max Maidment on the tight head. Adam Kwasnicki with a black head guard is the hooker and captain. And James Hallam away on the far side with a sweatband. This is Jamie Stevenson with the ball in hand. And London Scottish win a free kick for early engagement. Here they come. Taken on here by Adam Priokanen in the London Scottish half. Nice ball there from Stevenson. Maybe a wee bit low till he finds his range and the direction. That's better. Lydon, strong left foot. Murchie waits. Not a great pass there. Here's Lee Jones. Lee Jones was so active last week. He's caught and held by Priokanen again. Fergus gets the troops organised. Here's Reid handing off Williams. Ball goes loose. Turnover ball. Glasgow playing a bit of basketball there.
Dan Newton did exceptionally well there to rip the ball off Gordy Reid on his way down. Glasgow started reasonably well, but I think London Scottish will be pleased with the exit they put together there. As you say, the free kick coming from the scrum allowed them the opportunity to get their first bit of territory.
Alistair, a quick word about the level that the two teams play at in their usual season rugby. Glasgow in the Pro 12, London Scottish in the Championship.
Yeah, well, London Scottish are fifth last year, very much improving year on year. And I mean, I fully expect this to be a competitive game. Ultimately, Glasgow, I think, fitness-wise, towards the end of the game, we might come away, but we'll have to wait and see.
Matt Williams, the left winger for London Scottish, with a wee wiggle and a shimmy. Very appropriate for a lad who started his career as a ballet dancer, believe it or not. Kick on by Mantella away on that far side. Glasgow in just a wee bit of trouble. Tommy Seymour to the rescue. Swinson at the back of that Glasgow pile-up. Here come the big forwards picking and driving, just trying to tidy it up a little bit. Pergos waits, gets the ball away with a clearance kick to touch on that far side.
It's turned into a very structured part of the game. The exits out the 22, and technically from us at Glasgow there, that was spot on to get the right guys on their feet to chase the ball, and a reasonably good kick from Henry as well.
Dan Newton there, number 10 for London Scottish. Used to play a bit with Llanelli Scarlets. Welsh born and bred. Long throw over the tail, well taken there by Fusaro. Here comes Bennett, out it goes to Jones. Jones cutting back inside rather than being isolated on the touchline. Pergus again, Swinson. Offload to de Klerk. Here's Rousseau de Klerk, this newcomer to Glasgow colours, getting into the action. Weir. Ash. Adam Ash got his first cap back in June, you may remember, against South Africa. Now away go the Scots again. Swinson again with that trademark high knee lift. Good ball carrying by Glasgow, and London Scottish maybe just a wee bit slow to get away and release the tackled person there.
I think it was fairly deliberate to try and slow the ball down. The other interesting battle that you see going on at the moment in and around the breakdown is Best and Fusaro. Sevens are a fairly special breed. and having played against Neil Best many times, I know how competitive he is, and Chris is exactly the same, so that'll be an interesting one to keep an eye on.
Just a wee confab here between Ian Tempest, the referee on the left, and Stuart Terhiga on the right there. Just something that the assistant referee has seen, draws it to the referee's attention, and up comes Adam Kwasnicki just to get a wee word from the referee as to what the misdemeanour was.
That all started, the Glasgow possession started there with what looked like a miscommunication in the London Scottish lineout, and that's very much a trait of pre-season and something that is part of the ironing out process to make sure that doesn't happen.
It was Max Maidment, I think, who was at fault there, the big tight head prop. And here's the penalty to Glasgow. Duncan Weir. Here's Weir's kick, just easing Glasgow down. Almost for the first time into the London Scottish second half, and you get a wee indication of the breeze blowing here at Richmond from the touch judge's flag, the assistant ref's flag there, in London Scottish's favour in this opening 40. Lovely take by Nakarawa, fingertip job, cleaned up there by Kevin Bryce. All the action down here in Richmond, with other games going on in the second 15 fields beyond. Knocked on by London Scottish, scrum down. Good attacking position here for Glasgow this time. They'll have one or two little things, I dare say, pre-planned.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they'll be disappointed we didn't get the clean ball we wanted off the line out to play, but we've got a second bite of the cherry, and as you say, a very good attacking scrum here. Duncan Weir is organising things in behind, making sure that the backs know exactly what's going on.
Who would lead the back today, Alistair? Would it be would it be Kevin Bryce?
It'd be Chris Mazzaro will be leading the back and making the calls. Tim Swinson will be running the line out, so they'll be working closely with Duncan and with Henry to make sure that everybody's on board. Here's
the scrum, big poundage there. London Scottish heavier than Glasgow up front by about 8 to 10 pounds a man. Oh, Pergus under pressure there from Stevenson. The London Scottish scrum half did very well. Chance for Newton.
Messy phase of play. Young Stevenson did very well, came through and put his boot when Henry was trying to clear the ball away. He's a guy I was speaking to their coach last night, and he's very, very well rated. He's coming back from a knee injury, but they fully expect that he could go on and do some really good things.
Jamie Stevenson, who was a Scottish under-20s player and I think was in the squad for Scotland A, did very well there. There he is to the left of picture with the socks down at the ankles. Ready for action. You may hear some roaring in the background occasionally. We're right underneath the flight path for Heathrow. You get these massive airliners coming in and going past. Penalty to Glasgow. Pergos. Now, will Duncan Weir have a shot at goal? Try to get Glasgow on the scoreboard, or will he ease them down into the corner? Weir had a conversion and a couple of penalties last weekend against Harlequins. Glasgow lost that one 23 points to 24, of course.
Opted for the scrum there, and you can see that it's a great opportunity to tie their forwards and to get all 16 forwards into one place and give the backs a chance to run. I'm a wee bit surprised that Henry didn't just tap and go. We talked all pre-season about trying to get tempo into our game, and that was possibly an opportunity to catch London Scottish in the back foot.
Here's the scrummage then, and that line just behind Adam Ash's feet at the back of the Glasgow scrum, that's the London Scottish 22. That's how close. Oh, that one was a wee bit untidy. He almost came out the scrum again. Well controlled by Glasgow. Pergos, Weir, here's Alex Dunbar. Great tackling there by Freddie Clark for London Scottish. Pergus again. Tommy Seymour almost through, coming in from deep. Couldn't take the pass. Grits his teeth there. Tommy Seymour, who's been in some great form for Glasgow, 6 tries for them last season and won his 10th cap during the summer. Here's big Tim Swinson, number 4 as well.
Just off your screen, Duncan Weir's upset about the challenge that was put in on him. He feels as if there wasn't many arms used in the tackle, so keep an eye out for that one as well.
This is a strong Glasgow front 3 with Gordon Reid on this side. 3 caps now to his credit. Kevin Bryce in the middle there as hooker, 2 caps to his credit against Canada. Mind him came on as a back row replacement for John Beattie. and then against South Africa in the summer. And there's another scrimmage penalty against Glasgow. London Scottish will clear it. Here's Peter Lydon, fullback. It's a long kick. Using the wind to great advantage there and just clearing the danger, Alistair.
Oh, as a forward getting up from that scrum there, you're delighted to see that ball going so far down the park. It's difficult to tell up here just how strong the wind is, but if that kick's any indication, I think there is a reasonable breeze.
If you've just tuned into this coverage, this live stream of the last pre-season friendly that we're covering, it's London Scottish in dark blue against Glasgow in the white and blue. There's the scoreline at the top, 0-0 after 11.5 minutes. Here's a great break by Tommy Seymour. Lovely stuff there, wonderful tackle too. I think it was Jamie Stevenson got back. Here's Fusaro. Lovely running by the Glasgow Threes. Adam Ash takes it on. London Scottish have to do quite a lot of tackling. Tergos kicks. That was caught there by Peter Lydon, but an earlier penalty. Maybe we'll get a wee look at that again, just in a second or two. There's 15, Peter Lydon, who did very well to cover back, but Tommy Seymour's break, coming in just out of nowhere, really caught the London Scottish defence napping.
Yeah, it was a great break. We're going to get another look at it here. I think we've seen the last kick from Henry over the top, which was planned for Mark Bennett to go through, but Henry had to take an extra step. But Tommy Seymour breaking the line, that's the first real line break we've had in the game.
So here's the Glasgow penalty, and here's the wee fella who's going to take it, just out of the picture. Duncan Weir pops Glasgow down into the danger area again, where there are always so many attack options off a line out. Variation of throw, catch and drive, or knock it back, or pass it back, or peel round the tail, and so on. Taken there, was that Adam Ash took that one? Here's them all. Glasgow
well
try to bully their way over this. London Scottish have done very well to get men to the breakdown and near the ball, just to delay it that fraction. Nakarawa pivots away from the tackle there of Neil Best. Flat pass to Gordon Reid. And another penalty against London Scottish. Now, that's quite a lot of penalties even at this early stage. Here we are with 13.5 minutes played, Al. And London Scottish under pressure and maybe committing too many misdemeanours for Ian Tempest's liking.
Yeah, you might expect the referee might have a quiet word with the London Scottish captain, but another opportunity, another line out for Glasgow. To be fair, I thought the London Scottish defended that drive incredibly well, but the referee obviously saw something that I hadn't. He seemed to be signalling that they'd come in the side, but they'll have to do it all over again now.
Kevin Bryce with the throw in. Ball above head, there's the line out. The throw just a wee bit high again for Nakarawa, but Glasgow managed to clean it up. Just a couple of wee short passes, then the secondary drive again. Tergos, a longer ball to Weir. Here's Dunbar. Oh, thumping tackle by Gidlow. Very good tackle there by the Samoan. Now, what's the referee seen this time? And I think Kwasnicki again, the London Scottish captain, is being told by the referee, you'll have to get your players sorted out, otherwise maybe sterner measures will be coming your way. Offside. The tackle by Gidlow on Alec Dunbar was all-embracing, as they say.
He would have felt that one, Alec. That was terrific defence. It was Gidlow that hit Duncan Weir earlier on, and Duncan was a little bit upset about thinking about the timing, but he's obviously a big defender, and it might be more fortuitous to run to the side of him rather than straight at him.
So Glasgow going for the scrummage rather than the penalty. Fusaro at 7, Ash at 8, Tyrone Holmes away on the far side at 6. Jamie Stevenson on this side of the socks at the ankles, as I said, for London Scottish. Number 7 for Scottish, and this side is Neil Best, 18 times cap for Ireland. Another penalty. Not quite sure what that was for. Somebody beginning to lose their composure a wee bit. James Phillips there, the big London number 8. Another scrummage. Rousseau de Klerk is an interesting one. There he is on the far side with the beard, number 3 for Glasgow. 25-year-old, played for the Cheetahs. There he is, just bending down and binding down in front of Tim Swinson with the head guard. Cheetahs and Blue Bulls in South Africa, comes highly recommended.
A lot of the recommendations are about this area in particular. He's a very good scrummager, and we're looking to obviously.
He's certainly given James Hallam on the far side a hard time of it. Here's Adam Ash going, Ash! Just a couple of inches or so away from the try line. Here's the picture from behind the line. See how close Glasgow are, ball coming back. De Klerk, long ball over the head, a walk in for Peter Murchie. Opening score for Glasgow. Peter Murchie gets the try. So with some 17 minutes played, London Scottish 0, Glasgow 5, and Peter Murchie, there he is, he gets the first score of the match.
It was a good try. I think that we've made 4 or 5 decisions there to either take the scrum or put the ball in the corner, so we needed to get some sort of reward for it. A great break from Adam Ash, and then from the back of that ruck, Mark Bennett looks up and sees space on the outside. It's very difficult for a defence not to get narrow when there's so many people in the breakdown, and they left the winger with little choice to then come in and take the man he thought was getting the ball. But great vision from Mark Bennett to put Peter Murchie in for a fairly easy try.
It's funny how a rugby pitch at times can look very crowded, and at other times you can find acres of space.
Yeah, but credit to Mark to be able to look up and see that space, and also to Henry from moving the ball from under the post. I think we were probably 2 inches away from the initial break, but to be able to see where the gaps were, that's the key.
Duncan Weir will find that the wind here will tend to draw the ball away from the goal posts. Wind is blowing left to right as he sees it. There's the view, distance of about 30 metres. Well, he's got good direction. Has he got distance? No, it just dropped short. So, no additional points there. Try by Peter Murchie puts Glasgow 5 points to 0 ahead, and they've played 18.5 minutes in the first half.
Well, London Scottish Union under the post talking about getting back up and regrouping. They've defended very well. Just the penalty count they're probably a little bit concerned with, but this gives them now an opportunity to get some territory.
Lee Miller, formerly of Gala, with a dropout. Nakarawa gets 2 hands on it. Here goes the big Fijian with this long loping stride. Alex Dunbar is there. Beautiful tackle there by Lydon. Peter Lydon did very well to bring down the big Scottish international centre. Bennett adds pace. Look at the surge of pace from Mark Bennett. Holmes, linkage now. Here goes Swinson. Fine tackle again by Miller. Weir with a flatter ball that time to De Klerk. Scottish rugby laced to these South African names nowadays. And knock on there by Glasgow, giving London Scottish a wee bit of respite. They needed to get their hands on the ball for a minute or two, and they've had a lot of tackling to do in this last 7 or 8 minutes.
They did well at the breakdown there to counter ruck and knock Big Leone back over the top of the ball. London Scottish don't want that type of game. They don't want to allow Glasgow to offload and have a more free-running breakaway game. They need to, for me, be a little bit more structured, possibly put that kick a little bit deeper, especially with this wind. It would be harder for Glasgow to get out their own half.
Tai Tui Samoa on this side of the second row in the left of picture for London Scottish, and alongside him Adam Priokanen. 2 big 19 stoners. Priokanen's almost 20 stones on the far side. But it's not all about weight, it's very much about technique too. Gordon Reid up against Max Maidment on this side, and a penalty to London Scottish. Here goes Stevenson, lovely ball along the line. Gidlow, nice chance here for Miller. Sudden burst of life, there's the big fella, James Phillips, taking it up. Thumping tackles there by Glasgow. Gordon Reid and Kevin Bryce. Away on the far side goes Freddie Clark.
That's unfortunate from a London Scottish point of view. That was the best sequence of attack they've had, and a great scrum, a fantastic scrum in the middle of the park to set it all up.
They've just not been able to get their hands on the ball for quite a long spell. It's been mainly Glasgow. Largely, I feel, Alistair, because they've been conceding so many penalties. However, that was a good move. That was a better move by London Scottish.
Still out the back of the picture again, Adam Ash is getting a little bit of treatment on his shoulder, but the doc seems to be giving him the all clear to carry on. Another great position for us to be attacking from. Our line-out's not functioned exactly how we would have wanted so far, so I would expect you'll see Tim calling something fairly simple here, just to make sure we secure the ball.
Here's the score line at the top of your picture and the time that's been played. So they're into the second quarter of this pre-season friendly. One try, Peter Murchie. London Scottish get the ball. Here's the big fella, Tui Samoa. Stevenson waits. Gets the clearing kick in nicely. Seymour is underneath. Seymour takes it well, and he's a strong Tommy Seymour. He birrels and twirls out of these tackles so well. Nakarawa. Almost offside, Max Maidment there, the big number 3. Here's Nakarawa again. Oh, he plays basketball with it. Kevin Bryce chugs on. Pergus with the dummy. Keeping it tight. Glasgow playing quite tight rugby at times, and then suddenly they move it wide. Here's Dunbar with half a chance. Freddie Clark got the tackle in. Bennett taking it round the corner. Nakarawa, Ash. Chance here for Reid. Not much of a chance. Scythe down there. Bennett again. Bennett again. Oh, look at the footwork, and he's over. A lovely wee twinkling try there by Mark Bennett. Some lovely sidestepping.
I was just about to say we weren't as organised as we'd like to be there. We didn't really have an attack either side, but then a bit of individual brilliance from Mark Bennett, which anybody that saw the Commonwealth Games would have seen him do that for Scotland over the summer as well. And he broke, I think, 2 or 3 tackles just as he comes round the corner. There's not a lot on. We don't have the alignment as we should, but splits the first 2 and then uses great feet at the end and a bit of strength to get himself over the line.
He's just got this sudden acceleration over 3 or 4 steps that takes him away from a tackle.
He has, and Mark Bennett, Lee Jones, Tommy Seymour, they're not the biggest of guys, but very, very strong through a tackle. Very difficult guys to put down.
Mark Bennett then with that try. That's his first of this season. You may remember him from the Commonwealth Games, 7-a-side back in June, playing for Scotland there. And look at that crowd enjoying themselves in these warm conditions here at Richmond. Duncan Weir lining up the conversion attempt about 25 metres, slightly angled, again into the wind. Just takes his time. Here he goes. Flags go up this time, and that's another couple of points in for Glasgow as Duncan Weir adds the 2 conversion points.
If I was Lee Miller here, I'd be thinking about putting this ball as long as possible and force Glasgow to play out from the 22, and hopefully the outcome being that London Scottish would get a line out within the Glasgow half.
Lee Miller, formerly of Gala, with the drop out. Pergos, long ball to Murchie. Bennett again, caught and held well by Newton. Jones plays scrum. Oh, look at this. This is Leone Nakarawa of Fiji and Glasgow. Jones again. Thumping tackle there by Prio Cannon. Great effort there by the Glasgow second row, and then the London Scottish second row. One with the running, one with the tackle. Weir, change of tactic, over the top, Dunbar in pursuit. Difficult one here for London Scottish is Peter Lydon to deal with. There's the drive from the Glasgow pack. And suddenly they find themselves back up at the London Scottish end of the field. Look at this, oh, 3-1, in goes Bennett again. Glasgow stretching away now, 3 tries, and that's Mark Bennett's second, 17 points to 0, and they've played 26 minutes.
Very good break from Leone Nakawara there. I mean, every time he gets the ball, he's doing something a little bit special with it at the moment. He stepped up there at the very end, which I think we'll probably see, and he's in the 10 position. Puts a good pass into Chris Vizzaro, and it's just a case of simple hands to take us over the line. But the Glasgow, I mean, that was a great counter-attack. The London Scots will be disappointed in making it so easy for Glasgow to get out of their own half. See Leone here at 10, onto Chris Vizzaro. He gets the ball through his hands very quickly, and once again Mark Bennett's in the right place.
There seems to be a gulf here in conditioning and in pace. I think Glasgow seem to be stronger and maybe a bit fitter, and there's certainly a difference in pace of movement of the ball along the line and running.
Yeah, I would agree with that as we come back to Duncan taking a kick, but also I think a wee bit of tactical awareness to make it difficult for Glasgow to play.
Duncan Weir with this shot at the goalpost to put Glasgow. Ooh, look at that, you're right in line with it, but he's pushed it wide. So it remains London Scottish 0, Glasgow 17. Second try by Mark Bennett.
If we get a wide picture of this chase from London Scottish, what they need to be doing is getting the backs up as quick as the forwards are going up. At the moment they're chasing as individuals, which means there's gaps for the likes of Leone and Mark Bennett previously.
Sam Toomey has come on, number 21 on this side of the white scrum cap. Game goes on away down at the far end there. Nakarawa has it at the back, unmistakable figure there. Look at him as a great giant of a man. Wonderful runner and passer of the ball in the great Fijian fashion, of course. Here's Dunbar. Thought about going inside, then straightened up and went outside. So strong. Weir looking for runners. Bennett gives it to Jones. Jones, here's Toomey right in the action with a tackle on Lee Jones.
Touched us, he's seen somebody pulling on a jersey there, didn't catch who it was either, but he spotted somebody giving a tug backwards. I think that's Mike Donahue who's gone on for London Scottish, number 21 as well, who was in with us a couple of years ago and training with us. He's been down here and played most of the games last season.
London Scottish just easing themselves down into that right hand corner. Much more sheltered in that corner, of course. You've got the build of the grandstand, which is very busy today here. Spectators, you can just see them right in the touchline and watching closely as Adam Kwasnicki prepares to throw in. Up go the jumpers. Beautifully taken at the tail there. Freddie Clark takes it for Scottish. There's the wee dummy open peel, and then they bring it back to the front a bit. Great scrap for possession. The dark blue shirts of London Scottish working a bit better together now. Stevenson to Best. Neil Best knows the way to the try line. He's scored often enough for Ulster and Ireland. Tui Samoa takes it on, and then Stevenson again to Maidment as he dropped it. This big 19-stone tight head prop. He'll be so annoyed, his hand's just letting him down at that last moment, Al, but easy to do, isn't it?
Absolutely. I mean, it was a good line, and he was going hard at the gap.
Suggesting you've done it.
I've done it plenty of times, Bill. That's a better spell for London Scottish. I think when there are a few tries down, they look a little bit dejected out there at the moment, and they need a spark. They need something to give them the confidence that they had in the first few minutes of the game.
If you were in the second row of that Glasgow scrum, what would you be looking for at this particular time and in this set scrum? What would you want them to do?
Oh, as far as the scrum itself is concerned, we want to be solid here. So this is another of these exits that I talked about earlier on. We don't want to be attacking. We want to get the ball in. We want to get the ball out, and give the referee no chance to penalise us.
Yeah. Burgos with a put in. And away they go again. There's Adam Ash trying to bullock his way through the opposition. Back to Weir. Nice carry by Ash and sort of textbook clearance. Here's Williams rather, and Lydon in a wee bit of a mix-up there. Murchie caught there by Stevenson. Weir's got men out to his right in numbers. Here they are. This is Fusaro. Oh, that was on a wing and a prayer, that pass. Lee Jones can't get it. Here's Sam Toomey. Advantage to London Scottish. Now, I didn't quite know what all that was about, but down below us and just out of my line of vision, first of all, Tui Samoa and Lee Jones were having a bit difference of opinion, shall we say.
Yeah, that's a battle that Lee Jones might want to be a wee bit careful about. He's giving away a few stone. The referee and the touch judge are in deep conflict to see exactly what's happened. I think the original penalty will be against Chris Fusaro for slowing the ball down.
And of course it's a pre-season friendly,
got a little
so
spice and a bit of
you
niggle in
have
this
to
game.
administer the
We're
laws,
not
but
having
we will
players
want to
being
be
taken beyond the ball, held down after the ball. I know
just a
there's stuff
little
like
bit
that.
more flexible, perhaps.
So 11 and 4 holding each other after the head of the ball. Okay, listen boys, you need to go back and tell your players anymore we're going to be losing players at the park. Go back, going back for a knock on against White, it's going to be a scrum blue ball. Any more guys, players be leaving the field, get the message across please, no more. Okay, just go and have a chat please, go and have a chat, okay. Sure, I'm going to go for knock on.
So I'm not sure how much of that you picked up there, but the referee seems to be having a word with the respective captains to just go back and say to everybody, just calm down, take a breath. There's a lot of back chat, there's a lot of off the ball incidences. The ref won't want to have them in a game.
Okay, here we are, back at the action. Scrummage. Jamie Stevenson to put in. Great support they get down here at Richmond for London Scottish. Of course, they've been whining and dining for a couple of hours beforehand, so they'll be just in the mood for it. Gregor Townsend is just a row in front of me and off to my left by about 12 feet or so, and they get just a wee bit exasperated with one or two things that are happening on the pitch.
Max Maidman had some issues with what Gordie Reid was doing there on the biding, just as in front, two props closest to you as you look at the picture. Max Maidman was complaining to the touch judge that he wasn't being allowed to get his arm across, so see if it changes here.
There's the scrummage. Reid against Maidment on this side. London Scottish put in. Glasgow have got the wee bit of the drive. Picked up there by James Phillips. Here goes Scottish. Fusaro is in there for Glasgow, number 7. Look at him. And then Stevenson does well to get it away. Freddie Clark now, number 6. Thumping tackle by Adam Ash. Newton with a kick downfield. Jones goes back. Nice play. Murchie. Has Murchie got enough pace? Runs forward, has enough impetus to get the ball away from the London Scottish players, and finally cleared into touch.
And clever by Henry Pagros there. He realised there wasn't a good chasing line, and he got the ball out the park, get a little bit structure back from Glasgow.
So that's the Glasgow 22 line just off to the right of picture, and there we are. You see, we're right under the flight path for London, and those of you who like your aeroplanes, well, you could have a field day here because they come in great numbers right over the top of this playing field. A lovely part of London, really. There's big Tui Samoa, all 19 stone, 5 of them. Capped 3 times for America. Now then, away goes Phillips. Big James Phillips, used to play at Bristol.
I was disappointed. That was a great take there from Neil Best. Obviously a very good line-out option, and a great line-out option to have as a 7 as well. Quite often you'll maybe lose a line-out option with a slightly shorter 7. I hope I'm not doing Chris Fusaro an injustice there. But the first time they've secured good ball off the line, it'll be disappointed they didn't manage to take advantage of it.
There's that wee knock on there by PJ Gidlow. Just again. So you see, we've only got about 4 minutes and a bit to go to half time. Glasgow with their 3 tries by Peter Murchie first of all, and then 2 by Mark Bennett in the space of 3 minutes. One a wee waltzing try, and the other one just a speed of the ball through the hands, and Glasgow outflanking the London Scottish defence for Bennett's second.
We talked earlier about the gap between Glasgow and London Scottish, the Championship and the Guinness Pro 12, and a lot of the time you see it in the scrummage, but at the moment London Scottish are scrummaging exceptionally well. The referees obviously switch sides there to have a close look at what's going on the far side, but I've got to say that credit to the London Scottish props for the way they're holding up that scrum.
And you can see there's something going far wrong on the far side of that scrummage. I think it was number 1, James Hallam, on the London Scottish side, the referee holding up the...
He's intimated that James Hallam, he's gone in at the angle against Rousseau de Klerk, and it's difficult to tell from up here, but the one thing it is, it's a fairly even contest.
Weir again just eases Glasgow into the London Scottish half. Kevin Bryce, the 26-year-old, got his first cap, as I mentioned earlier, against Canada during the summer. Then his second one against South Africa, when he came on as a replacement for Ross Ford. Swinson, Pergos, Weir, Holmes. Oh, Dunbar, poleaxed there by Gidlow. Again, fabulous tackle from the big Samoan. Used to play a bit at Rotherham Titans. Here's the game going on again. Seymour on that right wing waiting as Glasgow take it forward. Crash ball. Ash beginning to find his rhythm now, Adam Ash. Dunbar, whoops, not the best of passes. Here's another penalty to Glasgow. Well, I wonder just how many penalties London Scottish have conceded in this first 40.
Not sure if you picked that up on the mics there, but you can hear Gregor Townsend in front of us shouting accuracy. There's a good opportunity for Glasgow to attack out wide there, and just a bad pass from Alex Dunbar means that all of a sudden the whistle goes and we have to start again.
Lovely bit of real estate down here, of course, some very prosperous part of London down in Richmond, and you can see the fields away in the background where numerous games have been going on forenoon and afternoon as Glasgow ease their way into London Scottish's 22.
So just down in front of us out your picture, Jim Thompson, Rory Lawson, Scotland scrum half's cousin, who plays down here but unfortunately is injured.
Here come Glasgow again. Fusaro. Holmes is right beside him. Here's Weir again. Oh, through the gap. Lovely running. Almost an offload. Now a chance here for Williams. Can't break clear. The Glasgow cover too quick. Tommy Seymour penalised that time.
There's been a lot of penalties on either side. I mean, London Scottish has a spell where there was 5 or 6 in a row, but Glasgow will be disappointed. We're disappointed at the moment as well.
It's a wee bit pre-season in the sense that there's been a shoal of penalties, Alistair, but then you get games during the season as well where penalties seem to proliferate, and the game's very staccato.
Yeah, and from a player's point of view and a captain's point of view, it's about learning on the park what the referee wants, because it will be different game on game. Not every referee is going to be the same. In fact, very rarely are they the same. So Glasgow, Henry Pagros will be looking to have conversations with referee to work out exactly why we're giving away so many penalties.
This one could be the last play of the first half. Kwasnicki with a throw. Stevenson to Clark. Kwasnicki again. Adam Kwasnicki, who's made away over 90 appearances for London Scottish. The captain and hooker loves to get involved in the action. This is better. I was going to say this is better from London Scottish, and then Tommy Seymour intercepts the pass. Pergos to Nakarawa. Away goes Adam Ash. Ash looking for support, gets it from Nakarawa. Pergos again, lovely overlap. Murchie, chance for Dunbar. In goes Lee Jones. Try number 4 for Glasgow. London Scottish 0, Glasgow 21. Lee Jones with the 4th try of the first half. And that was very good, and all sparked by young Adam Ash.
Yeah, a great offload from Adam Ash, and a great tip on to put him through the gap. Leone Nakawara, every time he gets the ball, he gets it away, and he did exceptionally well there to find Henry to eventually put Lee Jones over in the corner. But it all comes from good running angles from Adam Ash. The last 10 minutes or so, he's really stepped up and taken the ball on, and he's a big, powerful man and quick with it. We work hard on our offloads, and some guys it comes natural than others, and you see that it's a soft offload from Leone to put Peter Murchie into space, and it's a fairly easy run in for the back. Should be happy to get that kind of ball for the rest of the game.
All the passes going in front of the catcher, and it leads to so much better rugby. I often think it's endemic in Scottish rugby that passing goes behind the inside shoulder. However, that was better there. Here's Duncan Weir, yet again. One conversion only to his credit of the 3 tries so far. That looks better. Yep, they got a hold of that one. So, London Scottish 0, Glasgow 23. 4 tries in the first half, 2 conversions, and they reach the turn with, I beg your pardon, I've got the scoreline wrong. It's London Scottish 0, Glasgow 24. I can't do my arithmetic. But there we are, half-time here at Richmond then.
Yeah, thanks Bill. 24-0 to Glasgow Warriors against London Scottish. A good half for the visitors. And Al, I suppose the first question is, what's been key for Glasgow in that half?
At the moment, it's the line breaks. London Scottish have struggled when Glasgow put a little bit of width on the ball. And it's about converting them at times for the first kind of 15-20 minutes. We had a lot of pressure. We were down in their 22 for a long period of time, but couldn't get over that line. London Scottish, for me, they just need to be a little bit smarter about where they're playing the game and make sure that the way Glasgow play, I suppose similar to the way London Scottish attack, there's no place in the park that's safe. We'll attack from anywhere if there is space to do it.
They've Glasgow been making hay down this left wing. We've seen 3 of the tries come in there. 1 for Peter Murchie, 1 for Mark Bennett, and 1 for Lee Jones. Mark Bennett scoring his second try in a more central area, but this has been, it's been a good strip for Glasgow down this left wing.
Yeah, for me it's a width. Whenever we're putting width on the ball out and we're finding space, and it's very difficult phase after phase after phase not to get tight, not for the defence just to creep in. London Scottish would be looking to drift more and pick up some spaces.
Now, one man based here at Richmond is London Scottish Chief Executive Kenny Bailey. He was originally Chief Executive at the Warriors, and I spoke to him earlier this afternoon.
Take particular interest in this tie. It's an old club of yours, and obviously your new club, London Scottish. It must be a great fixture for you personally to come to.
Yeah, absolutely. I've been hoping that this fixture would come off for a while, and I have to say I feel very lucky that Glasgow Warriors have chosen to come and play London Scottish today, because I'm sure after the season they had last year, they could have chosen to play a few other sides the week before they started their league campaign. So for them to come here to Richmond to play London Scottish is great for us. And so, personally it's great because obviously I've got a connection with both clubs, but I think from London Scottish point of view we're very lucky that Glasgow have chosen to be here. But also at the same time I think it shows how far London Scottish have come in the last 15 years since 1999, and to be back at this level in England and playing against teams like Glasgow and then Saracens 2 weeks ago shows how far we've come, so that's good.
And the level you're at, you're in the Championship, I think 5th last season, so that begs the question of how ambitious do you become as a club, because the next step's a biggie.
Yeah, well, we say, people ask us that question, and first and foremost we have to win the league, and first and foremost we have to get into the semi-finals. So we need to get to the semi-finals, and that's our target this year, to get to the playoffs. And if we can do that, that would be a good season, and then we'll take it from there.
It's kind of rugby central in this area of London. You've got so many competing clubs and I suppose competing interests. So how does it work between the different clubs? Because Welsh are just over the road there, and you've got Harlequins at the Stoop. So there's a lot of competition there.
Yeah, it's arguably the busiest rugby community in the world. You've mentioned Harlequins, but I guess in terms of rugby as well, in terms of media coverage, you've obviously got Wasps, London Irish, who are along at Reading and train not that far from here as well. And then you've got Saracens too. So, but then Richmond, who obviously play here, Roslyn Park, London Welsh, Esher down the road. So I mean, it's an exceptionally busy part of the world in terms of rugby. So how does it work? We all try and fight for our little inch of the newspaper and to try and get the word out that we're playing. But generally speaking, I mean, it's a competitive but a healthy rivalry, I think, between all the clubs, I would say.
Okay, so if we think about, you mentioned last season with the Warriors, what did you make of that Warriors season, and what do you expect from them this season? How do you see them building on what happened last year?
I think you have to be impressed with how they played their games last year. I mean, watching from afar, watching in television, they play with a level of intensity which is at times ferocious and phenomenal. You can see that in the games that they played in Munster, in the league away, and then in the playoff as well. I mean, just the pace and intensity which they play at is really impressive now. And you know, speaking to Al recently, Al Kellock, he was saying, you know, their target is to improve. That's what, you know, they try to do each season. So improving would be to go one better than last year. And I have to say, I don't think it would surprise many people if they did win the league and did win the grand final, because they're a really top outfit now, and I think everybody wishes them well.
Kenny, thanks very much for that. Appreciate it.
London Scottish Chief Executive there, Kenny Bailey. It's so balmy for the Scots here at Richmond, Al, that Glasgow are staying out in the pitch at half time, not going back to the comfort of the dressing room. Is there any particular reason why they would be doing that?
It's the numbers. I don't think the changing rooms are enormous. We're going to see the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge. I was lucky enough to do one of these myself just last week. You've gone for the slow pour as well, which is always a little bit cruel.
And the old bucket dump at the end there, lovely.
Yeah,
lovely.
One of the features of pre-season is a number of substitutes there in both teams, and we're carrying a squad of about 28 players, 25 players, and to get 25 players into the changing room is a very tight squeeze. So they're better, especially saying the weather's nice.
How important is it for the players to get some competitive action, to get out on the field before the season starts and take part in what is a real game, a real physicality, real encounter, and something that just bloods you for the start of the season?
It's massively important. I mean, you can do all the contact you want at training, all the game-related technique you want at training, but when you're actually out on the park, that's when you learn the lessons. And there's some new guys into Glasgow, and some young guys, the likes of Adam Ash, who we saw there for the last 10 minutes, really stepping up into the game. He'll get enormous confidence from that, and pre-season wise, that's exactly what you're after.
How happy, it was a great game against Harlequins, some fantastic tries by Glasgow. What was the feeling after that game in terms of the performance of Glasgow?
Positive. I mean, we did a lot of things very well. Ultimately, we didn't win the game, which is disappointing, and we talked about our game management in the last 10 minutes of a game. Pre-season games are always slightly different. You always take decisions that you maybe wouldn't take when the league campaign starts up, as far as taking a scrum, going to the corner is concerned. But ultimately, fitness-wise, Gregor was incredibly happy with where the guys are, and the rugby that we played for the majority of the game was very good.
How important is it that Glasgow begin their campaign against Leinster? I mean, that's a massive game first up for Glasgow. Is that, for the players' point of view, is that a good thing?
I believe so. I talk about motivating factors a lot, and I tell you what, that loss in the final at the end of May last year, we're still remembering that. This is the first run out some of the guys have had since that game, last week was. So to go straight back in against Leinster, it'll be in the back of the mind. It's very important to get off to a good start, especially saying it's a home game. And you're also putting yourself against the best team in the league, or the best team in the league last season. So we know we've got to be firing at 90+% to get the victory.
Has that sense of achievement carried right through the close season, or has there been a kind of sense that we really want to go one better, and not a sense of grievance, but is it a sense of achievement, or a sense of we must do better, which is carried through?
You really go through the kind of emotional turmoil. I mean, instantly after the game, and for a good while afterwards, it's disappointment and it's hurt. everything we did last season was about winning that final, and not to be able to do it, it was incredibly difficult to take. But then you have to step back and look at the achievements that we had on and off the park as a club. You then have to look at all the guys who went on summer tour this year and have come back, international rugby players or more experienced international rugby players. A standout for me is somebody like Kevin Bryce. He's gone away, he's done incredibly well, he's starting today, there's big opportunities for him. So it's about using everything. It's an emotional mix, as I say, and it's about making sure that we don't pat ourselves in the back too much, but we're not too hard on ourselves either. Take the positives, look at what we need to improve, and try and go one step further.
We've talked about Glasgow offensively, but we saw Matt Taylor there just having a chat with the guys with the notebook open. What will he be saying to the team, and how happy will he be with the way that Glasgow played defensively in the first half?
Well, the one positive about Glasgow's defence is they've had the ball for most of the time, so that's always the best way to defend. Matt won't have seen a huge amount there. For me, we've been good. If anything, Matt will be wanting us to tackle a little bit lower. Some of the big London Scottish ball carriers are getting over the gain line because we're going too high. Matt's a big advocate of chopping low and then getting on the ball, and I would imagine that'll be his message out there.
Couple of minutes away from the second half of this match here at the Richmond Athletic Ground, the pre-season match between London Scottish and the visitors Glasgow Warriors. The score 24-0 to Glasgow at half-time. 4 tries for Glasgow, the first of which was by Peter Murchie, and I'll let you talk through this one, Al.
Just great vision from Mark Bennett to put the ball over the top for a really easy run in, and it all started from a good scrum under the post and Adam Ash making ground. He's done that well, he's taking the ball forward.
Mark Bennett with some good footwork here and taking the direct route as well.
It's just a bit of individual brilliance, and as I said earlier on, we weren't in a great position there. We had, I think, probably 3 attackers to 5 London Scottish defenders. But Mark's seen that and taken the ball on and managed to step his way over the line.
The third try, second one for Mark Bennett. Again, down this left wing, they opened up in the space. I remember Bill saying in commentary that rugby pitches sometimes look crowded and sometimes it's just desolate and empty, and it was desolate and empty here for Glasgow. Wide ball, Mark Bennett with a simple run in.
The most pleasing thing for me and probably for Gregor about that try will be Chris Vizzaro's hands. We work on it a lot and he got the ball through his hands very quickly.
And Lee Jones, who'd been given a few pounds in weight to one of the London Scottish players in the first half. Good try again for Glasgow, and again it came down this left wing.
Lovely soft hands to begin with from Maloney to put Adam Ash through the gap, and then he gets himself, he follows the ball, he tracks in behind to get the offload away to Henry, and from that stage, a fairly simple try, but as Bill pointed out, very good passing, making sure the guys are keeping the speed onto the ball.
Okay, so 4 tries for Glasgow in that first half. We're just minutes away from the start of the second half. Your commentary team, Al Kellock and Bill Johnson.
Thank you, Jim. Just last minute preparations there for some of the Glasgow boys who have taken a knock or two early in the first half. One change I can see sees Alex Allen coming on for Gordon Reid on the loose head side of the scrum. Alex Allen will wear number 17. And we're just waiting for the arrival of London Scottish back onto the field. See, there's a good crowd here today at Richmond.
It's been a great feel about the whole day. We came down yesterday, and as I'm not playing, I had the opportunity to meet some of the London Scottish officials, including Kenny Bailey, who obviously spent a lot of time with at Glasgow. It's a fantastic club, and the closer links we can get, I think the better.
I can see Linda Lawson there, Linda McLaren Lawson in the background to the right of picture, just speaking with someone. She's down, of course, with her husband Alan Lawson, and doing work for the foundation this weekend, and getting ready for a big weekend in November. I believe there's a couple of big dinners for the Bill McLaren Foundation then as well.
Yeah, I was speaking to Linda and Alan at the lunch, and they were saying they were down, yes, to see London Scottish, but also to watch Jim Thompson play, so they're disappointed that he's not able to run out today.
And as you can see, it's a great family occasion there. Somebody thoroughly enjoying himself. And
I think the one feature that I did mention earlier on is the number of substitutes that both teams will have. And the London Scottish bench includes, I think, 6 dual registered Harlequins players, and is very strong for that matter. Speaking to Kenny Bailey about the relationship they have, and it's as far as he's concerned, a fantastic relationship where they will get players Tuesday, Wednesday during the week. They'll train all the way through and can be included at the weekend. One rule he did mention to me was if Harlequins aren't able to release their players until after the Tuesday training session, then those boys will start on the bench and won't start in the team, which is great to keep the guys at London Scottish, the guys who are training day in, day out, to keep them motivated and happy as well.
So as you can see, just coming up to 3:15 and 40 minutes left in this game once the London Scottish appear in the pitch. Having an extended half-time by the looks of it, Al. I don't know whether they needed it or not. Maybe they're just having to regroup a wee bit. And lots of young players were playing earlier on, and the pitch is away over the back as well. So, and there's the general scene here at the Richmond Athletic Ground. We're right away in the back row of the stand. And there are the Pipers just waiting to bring London Scottish onto the field.
Half time's never especially when it's this long, it's never a good time at the beginning of the season. The first 5 minutes are you get your breath back, your lungs come back to where they need to be, but it's about trying to keep moving. And if we go to the pitch again, you'll see a lot of the Glasgow guys are continuing to warm up, continuing to move, so they don't seize up in this kind of extended half time.
Great social occasion, of course, rugby, and everybody enjoying this balmy weather. Here come London Scottish. Adam Kwasnicki leads the troops out onto the field. Now I see a number 19 there, which means Ben Prescott has come onto the field, and somebody in a blank number. We'll need to find out which position he plays in, and then we'll maybe be able to tell you who he is.
Ben Prescott, a former Glasgow player as well. He was at the club when I first joined. He signed down here for the next 2 years, and it's been a couple of different clubs. He spent some time at Northampton and at Leinster. A very strong scrummager, so it'll be interesting to see the impact he has there.
So there we go, second half underway. Swinson takes the ball. Kevin Bryce in the first receiver position there. There he is, ball in hand. Glasgow trying to play this at pace right from the start. Sam Toomey in with a tackle on Lee Jones. Well, they've started it a lick as well, and there's a penalty against London Scottish right from the start. Ben Prescott maybe a wee bit slow to get back on side. Here goes Alex Dunbar. Strong runner. Do you remember his try against Italy in the Six Nations? Lovely score. Pergus again. Murchie likes to come up from full back.
Good to see Kevin Bryce. That's 2 carries he's had in what, a minute of play. It's good to see him getting the ball in the hand. He's very, very quick over the first 10 metres, and the more ball carries he gets in the game, the better.
Weir, Bennett, caught there by Tui Samoa. The big Samoan second row for London Scottish has done a lot of good tackling. Here's Alex Allen, who came on at half time, trying to offload out the back of the hand. Fazaro goes. Swinson. Murchie again. You see how the Glasgow fullback in the blue and white, light blue and white, likes to come up in the line. Swinson again, thumping on, knocking Tui Samoa out the road. Inch by inch, Glasgow take it forward, and then they lose it. This is Sam Toomey. One or two fresh faces in this London Scottish line-up. David Cherry is there as well, number 18. Glasgow handling away from the base of the ruck. Kevin Bryce.
That was very good defence from London Scottish. they forced the turnover out wide. Glasgow just need to be patient and just make sure that we don't give away the ball cheaply. Penalised there, Glasgow, but possibly a bit of a smart penalty, to be honest, because we weren't. There wasn't much structure about our defence at the time.
Mark Lilly is on for London Scottish, number 17. David Cherry is number 18. That's Adam Kwasnicki right at the front there. Hooker and captain about to throw in. And there it goes. Lovely take at the tail of the line out. That was Cherry who took it. In a wild pass though, and the move breaks down as a result, as you can see. Now they have to regroup, and they've done that well. Better play. Oh, this is a lovely wee break here. Chance here for London Scottish. Gidlow cuts in. Now it's Toomey. Then Barr puts a tackle in.
The scrum half has come on as replacement for London Scottish. He's one of the dual registered players that I was talking about earlier on. I watched him train at Harlequins on Wednesday, and Conor O'Shea was raving about him. Had a bad luck with injury over the last couple of years, but a guy that they believe can go on and be very good both for Harlequins and possibly further.
We scrummage here just about 15 metres away from Glasgow's try line. That's the view from behind the Glasgow scrum. And Mark Lilly with a fair hair there on this loose head side for London Scottish. There he is up against Rousseau de Klerk.
Sam Stewart, who I'm talking about, has come on at number 9 wearing number 10 just to confuse us. But yes, very quick getting the ball away from the break ground, and we've already seen very sharp if there's any sort of gap for him to break into.
Sam Stewart, I believe, used to be a player with Stuart's Melville in Stirling County before he came down south. There he is, number 10.
I'm not entirely convinced by the haircut, Bill, but I'll leave that to him. It's maybe the London influence.
Maybe got Jim Mason to do it for him. And away comes Adam. Oh, and there's a penalty.
See Ben Prescott's influence in the scrum there, and a very good scrum. It wouldn't surprise me if they took another one here or just dot the ball into the corner.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see the Glasgow scrum was in a bit of disarray there as London Scottish waxed strong. So this is about the best scoring position on the field that London Scottish have had for some time. Lovely take again by David Cherry. Now they're going to try to go for the drive over. Gidlow takes it on, half tackled by Pyrgos. Oh, and Sam Stewart there got the ball away, but, well, nothing came of it.
Done us for collapsing the maul. It was a good initial setup by London Scottish, and unless you get that jumper down straight away, then you're not entitled to take anybody else to ground.
Another line out here. London Scottish throw. Would you be challenging this, Al, or would you be just defending it?
It's a read, to be honest, during the game. I like to get in there, especially if I feel as if they've got a dominant jumper who's looking to take the ball.
Glasgow round very quickly there as Cherry and his troops managed to get a hold of that ball. Great drive by London Scottish. Tighter, they're still 5 metres away. Here's Sam Stewart popping it out. We chip through. This could be a try. That's a good score. Very good score. Lee Miller, I think, gets the touchdown. Yep. You can see that again, but joy on the faces of the London Scottish support.
I don't think there was any coincidence there. The referee held his hand out for another advantage from the driving maul. Just as Sam Stewart decided he'd take the ball out, and you could hear the crowd in the background shouting free ball. Somebody obviously quite knowledgeable, a great opportunity to attack, always knowing that you're coming back for the penalty.
Yeah, it's a lovely service now. Deft little kick through there by Dan Newton. And Miller, well, he's always had an eye for the main chance, and that was a very good try. There's the conversion again. And Miller pops over the conversion, so Lee Miller 7, Glasgow Warriors 24.
Well, we've waited quite a long time for the confidence, the spark that I talked about that the London Scottish should be looking for. Bill, I'm going to hand over to you here because I think there's about 14 replacements coming on.
Well, this is your commentary nightmare now, because Glasgow have brought on about 7 or 8 different players. Oh, and it gets even worse. It gets even worse when London Scottish do them, because you and I haven't clapped eyes on the London Scottish players' replacements.
We've got Rory Hughes coming onto the wing, James Eddy
However,
into the second row, I think, for Baglioni Nakawara. We've got Jenny Yana who's come on at tight head. Josh Strauss is taking a part wearing number 20. Nico Matuala seems to be slipping in at 9, so I assume Henry's gone off, and I think we've just about... Oh, and James Downey has moved into the centre wearing number 23.
quite a few changes up front and at the back, and we'll just identify them as they become involved in play. Here come London Scottish, that's Toomey. Along the line it goes to Lilly. Here's Matawalu. Now, expect anything when he gets hands on ball. Adamash takes it up, needs to get it away. Matawalu, Weir, Eddy. Strong as a horse, James Eddy.
Neil Best, you've got to be impressed with him.
Tackle
Tackle after tackle
one
after
from Duncan
tackle.
Weir. Here's Ash again, full of running, this young 21-year-old. Matawalu whips it out wide. Here's Strauss. Oh. He is a big, powerful man. Ben Prescott did well to stop him, though. Weir. Dunbar caught by Williams. Glasgow just work away, and then they bring it up close. Jerry Yanu Tawa there. Tui Samoa did well to get over and stop Glasgow clearance.
Very solid defence from London Scottish. Nico Matuala there was trying to draw the ref's attention to what he felt was an illegal stealing of the ball, but the ref took the decision against him, and London Scottish got the opportunity to clear the ball down into the Glasgow half.
London Scottish boys are, here we are some 11 minutes into the second half, and they're blowing a bit already, I have to say. Some of them, they're looking just a bit hot.
You also see Adam Kwasnicki there just having a word in the ref's ear, and that's what I was talking about in the first half, just finding out as much information as he can so that he can continually feed it back to his players so that the penalty count doesn't become an issue.
Kwasnicki with the throw. A nice take again. David Cherry out it goes along the line. That was Newton looking for Williams coming in. Sam Stewart picks up for Scottish. Fed out by Neil Best. There's Gidlow. Yanu Tawa's in there for Glasgow. There he is with that bit of sticky plaster on his right ear. Glasgow man down in a heap. Didn't quite see who that was, Alistair. Did you see who went down injured there?
No, I'm not sure, but I lack a line-out tape. I'm assuming it's a back, but I don't. I'm not recognising the feet at the moment, but the physios look a little bit concerned about a knee or a lower leg injury. So obviously having a close look at him in pre-season. That there won't be any risk taken either. If there's any issue with him at all, then he'll be brought off. And as it's rolling subs, if we did run out, then we could stick somebody else back on.
All the London Scottish subs there just watching, waiting their turn.
It's Duncan Weir that's down
it's
injured.
Duncan Weir who's taken the knock on his leg. And this is interesting because the guy who's coming on just out of camera shot is the red-haired Canadian Connor Braid, who can play wing, centre, fullback, stand off. And I was told before the match that he would have a spell at 10 in any case.
Yeah, with
so
the injury to Pete Horn before the game, it's given Connor the opportunity to cover 10, and he played well last week when he came off the bench against Harlequins, and it'll be interesting to see what he can do today. Duncan's just limping off there. He doesn't look too bad. He's taking his full weight on his left leg, and you could see him signalling to the physios there. He's just twisted it in an awkward way.
So it looks as though he's taken a bit of a knock on that left leg of his, and there is Connor Braid, who's played 12 times for Canada, 15 asides, and a lot of times for them at sevens. And warm applause from the spectators too as Duncan Weir goes off. He's kicked a couple of conversions of Glasgow's 4 tries. Nico Matawalu, the wee magician, with the ball in hand.
Okay. We must not pre-engage. Let's reset, please.
Away on that far side is the Glasgow replacement, Alec Allen, with a white sweatband. You can just see it. And then Jerry Yanu Tava on this side with that bit of white plaster on his right ear.
An interesting switch over for Jerry. He's naturally a loose head and played most of his rugby at loose head, but in the last few months he's been looking at been able to cross over to the tight head if it was necessary, and certainly at training he's done very well, and this is his opportunity to have a hit out against a decent London Scottish scrum.
He's a solid citizen, Alistair. He's round about the 18 stone mark. There's Jim Thompson, who of course has played for Edinburgh in the past and Scotland A, and is now plying his trade with London Scottish.
Jerry's a very solid citizen. His best attributes is power though. Over the first 10 metres he's incredibly dynamic, incredibly powerful for a man of that size.
Okay, Matawalu with a put in. Yanutawa holds it steady. Just Matawalu again. Here's Connor Braid. Up comes Adam Ash. Or was that Rory? That was, oh, look at Matawalu go. That was James Downey actually, and Rory Hughes is on for Glasgow as well. Now, where are we going? Mark Lilly for London Scottish. Thumping tackles there. Dan Newton gives the ball a bit air. Oh! Williams for London Scottish, Braid for Glasgow, and eventually out it goes along the far side. This is Rory Hughes. Matawalu, oh, he does love to run, maybe not the right place, but he saw some men in a bit disarray in the midfield, just recovering from blows. Here's Connor Braid, Strauss, Allen, solid as a rock. Braid again, Murchie. Here's Seymour, hasn't had much of a run today. Getting one now. Murchie again. Braid. Chance for Connor Braid from the knock on. Where's the offload? Referee says play on, advantage over. Stewart gets it out to Newton. And Newton off that strong left foot of his finds touch. Actually that player down in the touchline should not have touched that ball, because it could have been a quick throw in to Glasgow otherwise. There we go.
Disappointing thing from a Glasgow point of view in the last 2 or 3 phases is the offload's not going to hand. We saw in the first half, Leone Nakawara, he'll get the ball, but the important thing is that you give it to somebody who's in a better position. Twice there we've looked to offload the ball and offloaded it straight into a London Scottish hand. But again, from the London Scottish point of view, great defence, solid defence. They've got the the added threat of a fresh Nico Matawala come on as well. And if you're a front five forward around that ruck and you feel a wee bit sorry for yourself for even a split second, then he'll have dummied and gone through the gap. So that you can see that they're very sharp. They know exactly what he's going to try and do, and so far they're dealing very well with him.
You may have heard in the tannoy there, replacement for London Scottish with Adam Priocannon leaving the field. Connor Braid's got a blood injury, obviously. He got a blow in the front of the face just almost as soon as he came on the field. And off he goes. Now,
looks as if he's got a split in the top of his nose, so Henry Purgus will come back on and slip in straight at 10. He won't have run there much during training, but Henry's the kind of guy you could probably play him anywhere on the back line.
Purgus at 10. Terrible pass from Matawalu. Oh. Knock on by Glasgow, man in front played it. Penalty to London Scottish. Sam Stewart takes his time in getting back.
Glasgow have just lost a little bit of structure in the last 5-10 minutes or so. To be fair, I would say a lot of it's to do with the substitution and Sam Stewart coming on. He's testing them in different areas. Sam Stewart's always organising the London Scottish defence as well. Been really impressed with him in the time he's been on the park.
Fraser Brown on for Glasgow as replacement hooker now, number 16. There's the scoreline as well, just Glasgow comfortably ahead at the moment. London Scottish 7, Glasgow 24, and they've played 19 minutes in the second half. Sam Toomey takes ball for London Scottish. Knocked on earlier on, the referee's indicating, so he's playing a bit advanced. Oh, it's a penalty. Here goes Stewart. There's Gidlow. Good tackle there by Fraser Brown. I think Glasgow weren't back 10 metres.
Neil Best making his presence felt there after the whistle. Disappointing there, another penalty given away at the Mall. Sam Stewart went to go quickly, and London Scottish were disappointed with the fact that I think a slight forward pass has brought him back for a scrum.
So it's a completely recast Glasgow front row now, with Alex Allen on the far side, Fraser Brown in the middle, and Jerry Yanutawa on this side. Shirt sleeve weather for most of the spectators today, though not all. Good heave from London Scottish. Matawalu has to do a bit of running. Here's Pyrgos, Murchie, Dunbar did very well to get away there from Matt Williams' tackle. Flat ball for Ash. Pyrgos again linking nicely. There's Fraser Brown taking it up. He's as hard as nails. Matawalu again, long ball to Strauss. Oh, Strauss just tramps over the London Scottish right winger. And there goes Alex Allen. Look at the sidestep on the prop. Oh, Yanutawa wanted that one. He had a sniff of the try line there in his nostrils. Pyrgos looking for supporters and getting them. Great running by Rory Hughes. Lovely wee inside pass too from Peter Murchie. Here's Matawalu, and he's caught and held just by Neil Best. Irish internationalist against Fijian internationalist there. Good turnover for Scottish. Best again, whips it away out. Phillips this time.
Sam Stewart's currently down injured on the far side of the park, so London Scottish have got to realise that and get somebody in to play 9 every time.
Oh, Newton under a bit of pressure. He hasn't found touch. Chance here for Murchie. No. Peter Murchie opened Glasgow's scoring today, 17 minutes after the first half had started, with a lovely try. Here's this play. Look at Alex. Look at the dummy in the sidestep there.
He had a fantastic break last week against Harlequins. He's got some great feet. It was a great little, I think it was Nico that took the ball on just to put him into a gap. And you see Jerry there keeping up with him. It could have been props union try.
Yano Tawa would have run in from about 20 metres if he'd got it. Here they go again. Will Bordell that time, I think. No number on his back. Murchie, lovely line. Seymour goes. Williams has got him. Oh! Fraser Brown couldn't hold it. Sudden thrust up the touchline by Glasgow.
See Ben Prescott, the old head there. Just got his hand up outside Sam Stewart at 9 just to tell him, no, I don't want that ball, I'm by myself.
Matawalu. Now what's going to happen here? He gives it to Rory Hughes. Hughes with men running in front. Lee Miller can't get at him. Here goes Bordell again. Alex Allen wants to run. Oh, he does like it. This big lad is so strong. Away he goes again. And here's Yano Tawa. Oh, he's going to get to the line. Yes, he chugs over.
That was the 10 metres I was talking about earlier on. And by the time we get home tonight, that'll be up to at least about 40. But another great carry from Alex Allen and busting tackles as well, making himself very difficult to put down, and then great support. I think just lifted up by Nico again and put Jerry Yana Toi through a gap, and he had the strength and the pace to get there.
And it'll get longer and longer with the telling, Alistair. It was about 22 metres. He did very well. There he is. Look at him. He says he's only 17 and a bit stones, but I think he's maybe a wee bit more than that. Built to be a prop.
Built to be a prop, yes. And props have been known to tell lies about how heavy they are in the programmes as well.
And of course, he's been capped 17 times for Fiji. He and Nakarawa and Matawalu were all playing in the Fiji series in the summer. I think they played against the Cook Islands in their last test back in June. Meanwhile, Henry Pergus, who's a very good goal kicker as well as being scrum half, has got this to add the 2 conversion points. Oh, and he's done it. Would you believe it? Right from the touchline. Another couple of points, so that's London Scottish 7, Glasgow Warriors 31.
That'll be Henry's last actions of the game, unless there's any more blood injuries, because Connor Braid's come back onto the park to take his position back at 10.
Look at Yano Tawa sprinting in there. And there's his pal Matawalu up beside him just to add the congratulations. Oh. Lee Miller, number 13 in the back of his London Scottish shirt, drops and gets the game, drops out to get the game started, taken by Swinson. Look at that battery of ball carriers there. You got Brown, Eddy and Strauss all waiting left to right. Glasgow get the penalty.
Soft penalty there. Glasgow were in their own 22, and it's never easy to clear the ball. And the referee's just pinged the London Scottish player for not rolling away, but we've missed touch, and it's an opportunity for London Scottish to counter-attack.
Oh, that could have been a late one. That could have been a late one. Strauss gathers. The referee says no. He's getting the call, I think, from his assistant referee.
Okay. Oh, Nudge. We're talking yellow. Are we talking yellow card?
No, we're talking a penalty there, or where it landed. It's a clear obstruction by White, who has no number.
Okay. Do you get the penalty there, or where it's landed? Okay, lads, late tackle, okay? Where the ball lands, yeah? 21.
Yeah.
Thanks.
The referee's given it as a late tackle.
Late tackle.
It was foul play, so it's a double penalty. Not where the obstruction took place, but rather where the ball first alighted.
An interesting one. The referee seemed to see it as well and waved play on, decided that he didn't see anything, but the touch judge, possibly with a better look, decided that it was slightly late from Will Bordell.
Peter Wright at this stage would be getting stuck into the assistant referee and saying they spoil the game, but you know, they're there for a purpose, and if it was foul play, then they call it. Now I think this is this Chevy Pennycook with a throw in. Oh, and Connor Braid is back on, and he couldn't hold that one. Here comes Lee Miller. Just absolutely hammered back there by the sheer vigour of the Glasgow tackling. Stevenson out again. Well taken there. Prescott. Oh, body's going forward and then thumping back. There is a bigger physicality on the Glasgow side. They're better conditioned, bigger men, and I think the weight of tackle is beginning to tell now. Tommy Seymour marked that kick ahead, so he gets a free kick. There he goes. Peter Murchie. Matawalu, what's going to happen here? Nobody knows, least of all him. Look at that. A bouncing pass, way to the far side. Rory Hughes. Penalty against London Scottish again. Here's Matawalu with one of these quick ones, which he loves to take. And then the burst on the break by Alec Dunbar. Dunbar's very quick to pick up on the line of the ball carrier, isn't he? When somebody's running in his team, he sees that very early on. Swinson, Matawalu, Murchie now. Rory Hughes again. Whoa. Thumping tackle there by Gidlow.
He's put in some big hits today, Gidlow.
Oh, what an interception! This is going to be a great score for London Scottish. It's out to Williams. Williams with a sidestep. Oh, it is knocked on. Adam Ash gets it. Best chance of the game for London Scottish. Adam Ash brought down there by Jim Stevenson. What a break that was. Interception, and Connor Braid, under a bit of pressure, slices the kick to touch.
You can see how disappointed the London Scottish players are with that. It was a great opportunity to go under the post, but you've got to credit the Glasgow defence, especially in a game when they're 31-7 up, to work back that hard to make sure that they couldn't score.
It was Newton couldn't hold that final pass, but there we are. Under pressure, things break down. Now here's the beginnings of the line-out. Mark Lilly at the front for London Scottish. And this, I think, is Chevy Pennycook. Taken again by Toomey. James Eddy adding his poundage to the line-out. There he is, binding in again. Stevenson. Oh, this could be a try here for Williams. It's another try. Great score for London Scottish. Marvellous score. Dan Newton gets the touchdown. Well-earned try. London Scottish 12, Glasgow 31.
A well-executed try. The referee had warned them that they'd already had been stopped once in the maul, so they decided to use it off the back. And you can see there, Connor will be disappointed. He's bitten in on the dummy runner, which is allowed space for Dan Newton to go through.
Watch it again from behind the try line. You just see some things differently. You see Williams did the running there, Alistair.
Yeah, you see Connor Braid, he steps in, and what Matt Taylor will be telling him on Monday is he's got to make sure that if he does step in, he gets back out to enable himself to make that tackle, and that's created a hole in the midfield.
Lee Miller with a conversion, there they are. Easy as you like. Another couple of points in for London Scottish. That's 14 points to 31. Glasgow well ahead. 10 minutes left, 9 minutes left in this game, as you can see from that clock on the top of your picture.
An interesting thing always in pre-season, 14-7 to London Scottish in the second half. With the amount of substitutes and changes that have happened, it's always an interesting point to keep a note of exactly what's happened in each 40 minutes.
Stevenson with about the highest kick of the day. Matawalu wanted it. Here they come again.
Great option.
That's the kick.
Loads of space
Murchie really
down
has to gallop, and this boy Williams can run. Murchie's there first. Infield to Seymour. Seymour with a sidestep. What a sidestep. Oh, and it was forward. It was forward. Oh, ho. Dylan Marfo there.
I think Tommy Seymour will be having a word with Peter Murchie later on. I think he expected him just to clear the lines, and you could see Peter Murchie was keen to play just at this point. Oh no, it's just before that he points to Tommy, and Tommy wasn't really ready for it. Ambition from Peter, maybe. Tommy's been on that part quite a long time, 72 minutes, he's maybe feeling it a little bit.
It was a testing pass, as they say.
Another penalty at scrum time. All the coaches, the London Scottish coaches, sitting close to us are calling for the ball to go into the corner, and that looks like the decision they're going to take. Yep, Lee Miller just dots the ball into the corner. Another driving maul, I would expect, and the last one Glasgow dealt with the maul well, but then couldn't deal with the ensuing attack from the back. So this time we need to get everything right to make sure that London Scottish are held out.
Lovely take there. Toomey, I think, with a line-out ball. Glasgow sensing how close this is to their trial and knowing that they've really got to get this maul stopped, and they've collapsed it. Here they come again. Newton, cross kick pass. Oh, Murchie misses him. In go London Scottish. Great score there. 19 points to 31. The gap closes.
Great option there. I think the move broke down. In the midfield, and they'll just look up and saw space. And that is Mike Donovan wearing the 21 shirt who's managed to score that try out wide. I also think if the try hadn't been scored there, then we could have been getting a yellow card, receiving a yellow card there, because for about the 4th or 5th time we pulled them all down there. I think it's Adam Ash that gets himself in the bottom of that. You can see a few London Scottish boots just letting them know not to do that. And as we see here, I think Miller just got ahead of play a little bit, which meant that he looked up and saw the crossfield was on, although Peter Murchie will be disappointed not to make that tackle. Yeah, as we look at it again, Adam Ash pulls it down as the London Scottish get a little bit of a rumble forward, and is told that he's not meant to do that. Yeah, Miller just gets ahead of the ball, but good work from Dan Newton to look up and see space.
It was a very well constructed try. Here we are back with a conversion attempt going over from Lee Miller, and it goes wide actually, and so it remains. London Scottish 19, Glasgow 31. Braid with a start. Williams with a catch for Scottish. London Scottish coaches off to our right are irate at that, because he was way off the ground when he was caught. Tommy Seymour going to get a wing
We're back to
here.
foul play, flag before the late tackle is charged in the air.
Tommy Seymour just a bit over enthusiastic there.
Mistimed, I would say, more than anything else. He's I don't think it was cynical. He realised he's hit him a little bit late and tries to bring him down. But it's very important how both teams finish here. Glasgow, the last 4 minutes of the game, looking to try and get a little bit more momentum back into our game, so you leave the pitch feeling confident.
So just a little bit concerned now, I dare say. Lee Miller takes that ball up. Caught there by Connor Braid in the Glasgow half. Stevenson again. That's Neil Best. London Scottish, you just see his sense that they have got a sort of second wind here. Very dynamic going into the breakdown.
We generally think about Nico Matuala as the ball-playing, hitch-kicking, sidestepping scrum half or winger, but he hit that rock there with an intent. Somebody had obviously got under his skin, and he decided he was going to come back in for a second bite again to try and disrupt the ball.
I wondered if the London Scottish man was actually attempting to roll away in that breakdown, because it seemed to me just to be lying absolutely dead still. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll see. It's over now anyway.
Oh, exactly.
No scrum half at this scrum for Glasgow. Matawalu has come out to guard this right wing. So, Jamie Stevenson, formerly of the Scottish under-20s and Scotland A squad, there he is, number 9 on the back of his navy blue shirt, ball in hand, is about to put the ball into this scrummage. And London Scottish, although they're trailing by these 12 points, are one man up in the sense that they have 15 players to Glasgow's 14.
And it's about being smart, London Scottish being smart about where they attack. There's always spaces when you're down to 14 men, and it'll differ depending on it's a back or a forward off. We see Nico Matuala's drop back to wing there, so the options of possibly the 9 breaking or some sort of back row move should be increased, you would think. George Hunter's on it, loose head for Glasgow, a guy who came down and spent kind of 3 months down here during last season, and it was really good for him. He came back and he learned a lot of rugby lessons as well as life lessons. I think probably getting away and experience what it is to live in a different city and play for a different team.
This is in the Glasgow 10 metres area. Big heave by Glasgow, away goes James Phillips. Nice little run around, kick ahead by Newton. Great running there on the far side, I think. Was that Mike Donegan again? Oh, and another penalty.
That was one of those breakdowns. I wasn't entirely sure which way the referee was going to point his arm. You knew there was a penalty coming, but for which team wasn't clear. Mike Friday, the London Scottish director of rugby, down to our right, was less than happy with the way that the decision went.
You can see here how Glasgow had to cover back very quickly, but it was very well constructed by London Scottish again, who seem to have got their second wind in this last quarter of an hour or so, and have scored second half tries, one by Lee Miller, one by Newton, one by Mike Donegan. All their points have come in the second half.
And again, Dan Newton looked up, there wasn't anything on, and he put a very probing kick in, which London Scottish ultimately won the ball back from.
Swenson took line-out ball there for Glasgow, but it's been lost. Here they come again. Chances out wide. Williams is there. Oh, he held it too long. Ball went forward in the tackle. Crunching tackle by Alec Dunbar.
One of the disappointing things from a Glasgow point of view in the second half is we've not managed to put anything together, to string things together. That was a very good line-out take, as you said, with Tim Swinson. The line-out functioned well, but then we were turned over at the next phase, and London Scottish were unlucky there, just as we were looking to put the grubber through, couldn't quite connect.
Matawalu just waits for this scrum to settle. He knows that time is just about up. This could be the last play of the game. Glasgow play Leinster next Saturday up at Scotstoun, 5:15 kickoff. And on the same day, the London Scottish play Rotherham Titans, 3 o'clock here at Richmond. So, you know, the real business starts a week from today, Alistair.
Yes, absolutely, but both teams will take a lot from this game. I think especially the way the second half's gone, London Scottish will be very pleased with what's going on.
James Downey takes ball forward for Glasgow. Matawalu. Here goes Rory Hughes. Look at Hughes go. Hughes up the touchline. Can he keep it live? What a great run by the Glasgow winger. Brilliant score. Is it Peter Murchie?
What
I
a
think
great way
gets
to
the
finish.
try.
That's exactly what I was talking about.
Yes, it is. His second. That's brilliant stuff.
A great way to finish. Talking about earlier on the fact that Glasgow will be looking to take some confidence off the park, and I'm sure we'll see a replay of that try. But it was strong running in the midfield from James Downey, a guy who we just brought in this season from Munster. He takes the ball in hard, but gets a great offload to Nico Matawalu. Strong handoff in Dan Newton's face, and then ship the ball out to Rory Hughes, and it's just powerful, fast running. And he looked as if he might go all the way himself. He almost broke through the last tackle, but he had the presence of mind just to have a check round, and Peter Murchie's worked incredibly hard to work all the way up the side of the park to take the scoring pass.
That's a superb score, a great team effort, and again, lovely soft offloading and understanding of where the support runner would be. Connor Braid wide out, looking to add the conversion points for Glasgow. That was try number 6 for Glasgow today. To 3 very good scores by London Scottish. Here's Connor Braid. He's given that a scalp. Up go the assistant referee's flag, another 2 points. So there we are, Connor Braid trots back with a very contented and happy expression on his face. He's converted that last try. The Warriors go into a huddle in the middle of the field. That is the full-time score. 6 tries for Glasgow, 3 for London Scottish. Glasgow the winners by 38 points to 19. Our thanks go to the Daily Record for hosting us, to Al Kellocker, co-commentator, to the hospitality of London Scottish Rugby Football Club. And just a word, you'll be able to see this match again on the Daily Record website, and you'll probably also get the package of Edinburgh against Newcastle also on the Daily Record website. So from the Athletic Ground at Richmond, thank you for watching. Good afternoon.